Hello and good evening. My name is Chris Palmer with chrispalmer.org. Don't forget SEOmastermind.org and grayhatseo.com. Can you believe it? In any case, in this video, what I'd love to share with you is a step-by-step process on how you too could get traffic to your website. Now, I'm going to be utilizing a tool that I don't recommend. There's no links to the tool. I'm not promoting the tool. I'm just using this tool to test out some new proxies, to be quite frank. And that's the first thing I want to share with you. Here, take a look at this. You know, these proxy companies, a lot of them will utilize what is called, all right, know your customer, okay, for proxy services, okay? So, know, or KYC, for short. Now, a lot of these big proxy providers, Bright Data, Oxy, whatever the name is, you know, any of your big companies where you get the good proxies, you know, the proxies that inside of a game, you know, when your son or your daughter is playing a game in the App Store, and a little box will come up and it'll say, hey, you can have some free tokens if you allow us to run your IP service in the background, and we'll give you 100 tokens for in this game. You know, Bright Data is known for doing this, along with a lot of other, you know, conscious companies. In any case, they're allowed to do things in a gray area, but we're not. So let me give you some advice when you're setting these up. First and foremost, when you're setting up or trying to acquire high-quality mobile proxies or residential proxies from some of the top-tier companies, right? Like Bright Data, okay? This is one of your biggest pools. You want high-quality mobile proxies or high-quality residential, this is where you go, all right? Now, there's a lot of subpar companies, like you can buy stuff where guys and gals are running micro servers out of their houses or out of their commercial units. Like we bought a commercial 100 gig it was 1,000 gigs up and 1,000 down. It was a T3 or T1 is what we rented. And then we were selling proxies. We still do, but I allocate all of those proxies to one provider, right? So there's a lot of guys like myself that you can purchase from, you know, like, I mean, there's tons of them. I'm sure you've seen, what is it? Proxy, oh my gosh, dude. I set up numerous servers with them. You know, set up Proxidize. And then there's Xproxy as his main competitor. So those are, if you want to set up your own, there's lots of dudes and gals setting up their own, and you can buy from them and they have no trouble. But if you want to have the ability to choose your location, you want to be able to, on every request, you know, whether it's 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, you're multi-threading and you want to change every second and get a new IP, and you want to be able to pinpoint the geolocation without any, you know, seclusion of area, right? Like there's no boundary. Bright Data, along with some of these others, are going to be your best bet. So what I'm getting at here is don't set them up on a VPS. Also, you have to have a business and have an EIN. Make sure that you have a business set up and an EIN, and think of a reason that's plausible, whether it's for testing security, whether it's for your employees to be able to log in safely, whether you want to share data, you want to share data with your customers safely, or you are creating a tool that is in-house or for your customers that will require mobile proxies for your safety. Make sure that when you're signing up and you're setting up your KYC, make sure you have a person ahead be able to explain, this is why we need these IPs. Here's what we're going to be utilizing them. Here is our recommended data usage throughout the month, and know the ins and outs of why you need the tool, how you're using the tool, who's using the tool. Make sure you have an EIN, and make sure you have somebody that will actually physically talk to the person at, say, Bright Data when you are setting up your KYC. If not, then you're going to have to go to subpar providers. This is my advice to you, okay? Now, I've gone through the trouble of getting proxies. This was a very big headache, let me tell you, okay? So if you think, and then two, you'll say, hey, say you go over to Bright Data and you set up, you give them the $500, they give you another 500 to spend. They'll let you start using them. As soon as they see you log in from an IPv4 data center, you're going to get whacked. And then that account, you're blocked. Okay? And if you get blocked, make sure you're logging back in with an IP that isn't yours, right? Like they're banning by IP range. Make sure you're always logging into those proxies or the IPs when you log into the account. Make sure it's always the same IP when you log into your Bright Data account. All right? They are becoming sticklers to get good IPs for scraping, for traffic, for CTR. They are getting tighter on their requirements. All right? I'm letting you know straight out. With that being said, in this video, what I'm going to do is we're going to play around with ATB, Awesome Traffic, really just to test out these IPs before, and to walk through. I was asked by someone to do this, so I'll walk through it. I'm not recommending the tool. No, I don't have a promotional link. I do not recommend this tool. There are no links, and this will be a step-by-step guide on how to get traffic utilizing this tool for fun, but just know this is just for me to test out these proxies. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to head over here to a server. All right? Now, I've already taken the liberty of setting up these two. Oh, let me see something here quick. Yeah, okay, this is already on. Good. So I've already taken the liberty to set up two campaigns. Now, there's a reason for this. I have two separate providers that we're testing out, okay? And as you can see here, I did a residential and a mobile setup. The reason for this is so I can duplicate the campaigns or duplicate the IPs without showing them to you. So we're going to do this mobile setup here, and we're going to do a click-through campaign for maps, okay? So here, and I'll walk through the process. This is for... Well, you're watching this now, so you know who this is for. So we're going to go ahead and just clone one of these. Okay. Now, mind you, this is not my... Okay. All right, so here, let's go inside of here. I want to... New campaign. Let me just see something here quick. Clone existing campaign, mobile setup. Yes. Yep. All right, so we're going to go inside of here, and we'll start doing this. So we're going to do a Los, A-N-G-E-L-E-S campaign. Okay. Now, depending on your proxies, all right, if you're setting up this tool, any tool that you decide to use. Now, our system that we utilize now is not ATB, but what I would highly recommend is there's tools like multi-login, along with many other tools that you can utilize, that you'll be able to bind the fingerprints together, and you'll be able to bind based upon your IP. So I can create automation utilizing what is called Playwright and Puppeteer, and they have a lot of stealthy ways to generate traffic. I'm utilizing this inside of this tool just to see how these proxies work. That's really why I'm doing this. Plus, if I log into my multi-login, you'll see the thousands of accounts that we have, and I don't want to do that. We have 500 in this one. I don't want to do that. But back to user agent. So when we're creating user agents, you want to make sure that the user agent or the device type that you're utilizing is going to mirror the type of IP that you're utilizing. Okay? So in this instance, we are utilizing a endpoint that's going to rotate per request that's mobile. Now, I know that when generating traffic, it's based upon region. So not only will the IP range match the region that we're in, for instance, out west, it will also match and mirror the ASN, which is going to be, you know, T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, right? You have to be able to mirror and match these three things. 1, device. 2, ASN. And 3, the longitude and latitudes need to actually come from places that could potentially be housing these types of devices and these ASNs. You know, if you're running traffic from a residential IP from Comcast and you're doing it in the middle of the ocean or inside of a, inside of a park, these clicks are going to be scrutinized. Okay? So be mindful on this. Back to user agent. So we're going to do user agents, and what we're going to do here is we're going to do an 80-20, All right. So no desktop on these. All right. So that'll be 100%. Amount of visitors, we will stick to 100 just to see how it runs. Delays, let me think to myself here. All right, let me just think of something here quick. So delays between campaigns. Here, let me just go see something here quick. How many minutes in a day? 1,400. So, 1,400. So then there's 24 hours in a day, obviously. It's 1,440. So let's do that by, let's do 20 interactions. Okay. So let's see here. What's 86,400 divided by 40 actions? All right, so 2,160. Okay, so it's 2,160. So 2,160 divided by 60 is what? 36. Okay, so that would be 36 actions. Okay, let's crank this up then. We're gonna do 300 to 400. No, my mistake. 460. Okay. Multi-threading is going to be off, and the reason is because each time you make a request, okay, you know, oftentimes tools, depending on the tool that you're utilizing or depending on what you're doing, they will boast this multi-threading, and oftentimes multi-threading will increase speed. However, when you have a connection and you're utilizing a proxy and you're routing traffic, the last thing I want to do is I want to have one session, one proxy, split 3 times. I want one session, one device, one search, right? So that's how, we don't want this on. So we're going to leave this off. Browser profile, this works really good. This is another reason why we like this tool or other tools like it. This is a great way to warm up profiles, all right? But that is not the case for this particular demonstration, okay? Now we're going to come on down here. Do we want to log the activities? Not necessarily, but for this particular case, we are going to. Start minimize, that's perfectly fine. Scroll, you want to keep on. We're going to come on down here. We're going to shut this off for now because we're just going to let it rock. We're going to move on to the next step. So proxy and protocol, this is already on. We could double check this. Remote server, oh, this is not correct. This is not correct. I changed this. So it does not keep the initial IP. That's interesting. That's okay. Let's keep moving on. Okay. This right here, we're going to change. And we're going to come inside of here. And we don't necessarily want search. Well, we can. Let's see here. Chiropractor treatment, chiropractors, coccyx, tailbone. Now, these little elements here, I don't know if you noticed these or not, right? But when you're setting this up, this is going to be the weight, okay? So let's just say that the weight starts at 100, all right? And you have 10 different keywords that you want to run, right? If I were to set this at 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, this is how often it's going to choose to search this key term. Now, if you just left them all at 1, it would search them equally, okay? Now, I want them all to be equal, so we're going to leave it at 1, but say you wanted 1 to occur a few more times. Well, the total weighting is 100. So you have to split that 100, all right? Just for future reference. Or pick 100 keywords to stick in here. So we're going to click on map, and we're going to keep this. Now, I don't necessarily want this in there, but that's fine. This is fine. Advanced, yes. Actions to perform on maps. So then inside of here, what's good about this is you can choose which actions, in this particular tool at least. So you can click on the site. Okay. Okay. Okay, now remember there's only 25. Okay. Direction 25. Okay, and then this. We don't want any of that. Okie dokie. Now these, you want these to be a little bit longer. Alright. You don't want it to be whatever's set, because most people won't touch this, so you just change it a little bit. And generally speaking, you don't want even numbers, and because you don't want there to be a pattern that develops. No even numbers, because that's what's very common, and there can't be a pattern. That's why you want to have multiple things that you check. Okay? So, all right. Perfection. Clicking rate will be 100, but then we'll split the actions that we're doing. We don't want to go past this particular page. The reason for this is because it will minimize the amount of resource that you're utilizing. You know, if you're doing branded searches, or you're doing brand plus key term, or key term plus brand, or you're doing URL plus brand, you know, I don't want it spending a bunch of resources or data searching through and looking. If it doesn't show up first, or in that first row of 20, I don't want to search for it. You know, I don't want to spend all that time. You don't want it to go too fast, so we're going to keep this slow. Use the Google account, not in this particular setup. Delay between actions, so we're just going to change this. Delay on the main website, I should say. That's fine, 88, 87. Scroll, yeah, so this is once it hits the page, all right? So visit other web pages, so a sub-page. So we're just going to do 1 to 2. So it's one other page, and we want internal, okay? 25% is perfectly fine. We only want to search internal links, no external links. So whether it's going to search for maps or to the main website, I don't want it going anywhere else, okay? So now here's a piece that you want to take note in. So this is the GPS simulation. Now, when you pull this up, what you're going to see is you're going to see this big thing, and you would think inside this big circle it's going to be choosing, but that's not the case. That's not how this particular tool works, okay? What you want to do here is when we come inside of here, you want to add a new circle, all right? So here, I'll show you something. See how there's 2 now? Now, here we're going to do another one. Let me go out here some and back in. Okay. Here, close and clear this out. Now, I should be sticking my own inside of here, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to go like this. We're going to go to Los Angeles. Come on, Sparky, you can do it. Alright, here, we'll do it ourselves. Or in London, that's fun. Probably because that's where the server is. And we're going to do 90210. There. Then we're going to go out. Alright, so now we're in LA. Alright, so we're going to add a new circle, and we're going to do it right in the middle. Add a new circle. Alright, now you can't see it, but what it's doing is it's going to draw an orange circle, and then the inside you would think that it's covering it. But what you don't see is there's individual dots, and each one of the dots is a longitude and latitude. How this tool works is it's taking those dots around that area. Okay, So what you want to do is wherever you're trying to target, you want to add as many of these as you possibly can. For this particular example, though, we're just going to hit this particular area here. It's putting them in, don't worry. Now, this is just testing the proxy, so I'm not being too particular, but you should be. I'm just testing proxies. Okay, let's take a look at this. Yeah, see? 118.261. Okay, good. All right, so we're good on that. Now we're going to go inside of here. Advanced function. You shut that off. Turn this back on. Okay, yeah, no, I don't need that. So edit task. Okie dokie. So now what we want to do here, that's perfectly fine. Okay. So now this one we should be able to. Let me see if this is still in here. Let me see if this is correct. Get rid of that. Let me see if this is in here right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why that one's not in there right. So this is what it will generally look like from Bright Local, or Bright Data, I should say. And that's perfectly fine, but I thought I updated these. But that's the primary setup, but those IPs are bad. I just changed them out, so I have to double check. Let's go back over here and see. I don't want to bring those up on this stream. Just wanted to go through this setup. So residential here, we'll go through this one. It'll be just a little bit different, but not much. Let's go through here and I'll show you something. We'll set this one up now, okay? Oh, this works. Okay. Okay. Here, we'll go through this one because this one's saved for whatever reason. That's odd. Now, let's go back through. Let's do the residential. So first we did mobile, and you saw how we did that. When we're setting this up in the future, okay, Mike, here's what I want from you. So when we come inside here, remember I said, hey, don't go into the water, don't go into the green, don't go anywhere else, right? So when we come in, and here's what I mean by this. So come over here to maps. All right, go to Los Angeles, okay? Here's what I mean. Don't go into the water, right? Don't go into the green, right? We'll already identify, it's already preset in the proxy, but you need to identify like what ASNs are available in Los Angeles. No, not Asians. That's funny. Okay. ASN. Okay, so Verizon, AT&T, Spectrum, T-Mobile, and Cox. Now you can go over to like MaxMind or yeah, MaxMind is probably where you want to check. You can check this out. It's called MaxMind. So you can come inside of here and you can double verify, like when you want to run your traffic, you can check your locations and your proxies. But what it will tell you is it will tell you if the ASN matches the location that you're in. Okay, very cool tool. All right, you can do that on your own time, but that's how you check that. Another way too is Google's generally going to give you the information, so you could go on to Gemini or Grok or not ChatGPT, anything but that. Ask anybody but ChatGPT. All right, Grok or Gemini is probably who I would ask. Okay, but this is generally going to be it. So when we're running or setting up the proxies, like what I would do is if we know we're going to be setting up a maps campaign, it's going to be in LA. what we'll do is we'll call for ASN for Verizon, for AT&T, and for T-Mobile, right? Those are huge pools. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger. See, some locations are weird, like they'll always have Verizon and AT&T, but if they're secondary ASNs that are unique to an area, utilize them, okay? And I'll give you a list. You can find the Bright Data list. So Bright Data ASN list. You can find the list online. Or you can just run a request, okay? But it'll give you their list. I think it's inside the docs. It's in their docs. I'll show it to you when we get to it, okay? So that's ASN. So make sure you're running from the proper service provider, obviously. And then here's the big one when we're picking out longitudes and latitudes. See, I showed it inside the tool, but really what we want to do is we want to do it this way. Let's just say that, hey, we have, here, I'll show you, chiropractor Los Angeles, right? Let's just say. All right, so we have LA chiropractor, so it's this dude right here. All right, so it's 280 Century Pike. Okay, so you go to 280 Century Pike. Happy Easter, by the way, everybody, or anyone that's here. You know, beautiful day. I think it's already Easter, yeah. So, happy Easter. I hope that you have a marvelous holiday with your family. Before I had a meeting with my manager, the service manager, and that's why I'm awake. Before I spoke to him, I was hiding eggs for little Chris. So I was hiding little eggs. I didn't want to put bucks in there because I thought that would be unoriginal. So I went and got scratchers, little scratch-offs. Well, so that way you can find the egg that I hid all over my home and outside. Right? That's fun. And then you'll be able to do little scratchers. I don't know if that seems okay to me. 2 Century Los Angeles. Anyway, happy Easter, you guys and gals. So here, we'll come inside of here. I don't even know. It's 2 a.m. I don't even know if there's anybody on here. But 280, oh geez. All right. So here we go. So when we're finding our list here, so here's what I would recommend. You come over here. You grab yourself file new. We'll put up our little list here. And then when I said, hey, don't choose anything in the grass or in the green, and don't choose anything that's in the water. But once we identify the zip codes, and really the area is going to be covered by the same ASN. So once we identify the ASN that we need to utilize, the next thing is hey, if we know that our business is here, well then I want to start pinpointing. If I'm running residential traffic, well then we're going to start doing this. I'll start making my list. Like, okay, hey, let's grab this. Okay? So I would just make a list like this. So resi, right? And I would start grabbing my pinpoints like this. So I'd go to that section. I'd come over here, grab this. Okay? But what's cool about that tool is I don't need to pinpoint, but these will be starting points. So you know how it's grabbing the circle? Well, grab your circle points. Grab your starting points. Like grab one from here, grab one from here, right? So if we want to do residential, we'll go north, west, east, south in this little area. Then we'll know we hit this whole area. And then we'll get the residential type that comes from this area. Then the next thing is we'll do the same. We'll take those same exact 4 longitude and latitude types, and we'll do it for the cell phone. Are you with me? That way, the searches residential and mobile will be coming from this vicinity, which we know is heavily. Look you can't miss here in this area. It's residential, it's homes, it's people, and this is perfect. See, the other thing that we don't want to do is I don't want searches coming from anything that's in this area. That's why there's a lot of other tools. They'll go very broad, and they'll take this whole flipping thing like this, right? So say they have LA, what the other tools will do is, or a lot of other people that don't know what's going on, is they'll say, okay, this is LA. Okay, great. They'll do this, right? They'll take this like this. Right? Paint. Like they'll do this. Circle, make it red, make it bold. And they'll say, okay, hey, let's just run traffic in all of this. Right? Like, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't want traffic to come from this super big area. Or worse yet, like oftentimes I've even seen this in other tools, they'll go even broader. Nah. Let's pinpoint. And I want a blend of traffic coming in. And then too, don't forget to incorporate the bounce rate. Right? Like I can have a 5-10% bounce rate. You know, something that I'm not showing here right now to you is that if we're running website traffic, I'm trying to figure out what the best average is so I know how much traffic to send. Right? Like you don't just willy-nilly send it. All right? That's how you catch a fail. And you definitely don't go big and broad like this. What I would recommend doing is you identify the areas. First and foremost, okay, I'm in LA. I want to win Los Angeles chiropractor, truck accident lawyer, or whatever it is. Identify your ASNs first, okay, which type of providers there are. Then the next thing is identify pockets of residential areas. And these are the pockets in which I want to spoof my device from, okay? When you're utilizing mobile or you're using residential, it's going to be based off device, okay? So as long as my ASN, as long as it's bouncing, if it's a mobile, as long as it's originating from that region, a lot of the searches will go through, as long as I don't have a bad connection. As far as the residential, as long as I'm in a residential area and as long as I'm using the right providers, a lot of them will go through, okay? And you can tell by the URLs, like when you're logging it, you can tell if Google is accepting the search or not when utilizing these tools or headless browsers based upon the flags that they're giving you inside the URL. And when you start running these, you'll know what I'm talking about. Just because it was a search doesn't mean that it was an accepted search by Google. And you can generally tell this usually by the flags that show up inside the URL up here. So when you're logging it, you'll see. Like certain things won't load. There'll be certain flags. You'll get zeros instead of ones up in here, right? Yeah, that's about it. All right, so I showed you the residential. I showed you how to set that up. Here, let's go see if these fire since we're here, okay? We'll go ahead and do a residential. This could be a residential setup, right? We'll just do a 0 here. We can do 20 on tablet. There could be tablets, but I'm not going to do mobile device because this doesn't have the Wi-Fi connected, and I don't have. Sometimes there's mobile with Wi-Fi, and there's providers that you can buy that from, but that's not how I'm set up. Okay, so if you have a provider like IP Burger or IP Royal or some of these guys, like these types of services, IP Burger is good, right? You can come check these guys out. Another one would be IP Royal. Might be the same company. Who's to say? Right? These are good. This guy right here is good, but you better make sure you have your customer credentials ready. These guys will let you pass as long as you're not running or abusing the system. Bright Data is really good, but you're going to have to go through their scrutiny. Another one is, what is it, Icy? Let me think of the other one. These guys are really good, but and they don't give you trouble, but they're a little bit more expensive. They are called, not LTE. No, not Live. Proxy Seller's okay. Oh, I can't think of the name of them. Is it Icy? Icy Mobile Proxies? Is that what it's called? Dang it, I can't think of the name of them. Well, in any case, I think it's like Icy, or they used to be for usually like the sneaker sites. That's how I learned about them. But now they have a pretty good database. Also, too, I noticed Proxidize started selling proxies too, which is pretty interesting. Like, you know, you're selling the system, but then you're selling the proxies unlimited for cheaper than it would cost for them to set up. Like, why even go through the trouble then? Oh, it's funny. Anywho, I think that's it for me. Let's do the residential. So 80/20. We'll start with unlimited just for fun. Multi-threading, no thank you. Browser profiles, no. Browser extension, no. Log the activities, yes, because I want to see how they hit. Start minimize, sure. Scroll, yes. Timing, don't care. All right, next we're going to do this. Okie doke. Well, we have the protocol. This is residential, so that's good. And then two, I figured out how to get it to do geo. So this way the geo will be based upon what the device is. So inside of Bright Data, you could set up your proxies with different parameters in order to change the location in which that they're serving from. Okay. So how this one's set up is it's US based upon the request that I'm sending. Okay. So it all starts with device. So my device is going to be desktop with 20% tablet, and I'm going to be in the western area. So let's go to the next thing. All right, so here's where we could start playing. So we're going to do search traffic here. I want to see how these run. We're going to, well, I don't want to do this. We'll go ahead and do it this way. Why not? Just to see how it runs. Okay. Come on. Okay. Yeah, see, there's only one, two. Yeah, see, there's barely any. Well, we'll try it. I'm gonna see. I'll check it. Advanced functionalities, no. No. We don't need that. Just let it be calm. No, that's fine. It's fine. That's fine. Alright, so it's going to be based upon that. 30% bounce, 30 and 20. 40 to 80 seconds. Oh my gosh. Here. Make that an 83. Make this a 43. Alright, mode. So let's go here. That's fine. Browser results, only one page. The click-through rate will be 100% based upon those searches. And then I need to make sure it'll be a different one per request. That's fine. Okay. Alright. Update. Alright, now let's take a look at this bad boy. Alright, let's go to this little sucker here. Let's go here, and we're gonna go run it. I want to see how many actions it does. Oh, I don't like that. That's too many. Hold up. Oh boy, that's why. I'll trim that down once it's done. That's way too many. Alright, what's that running at? So there's 10 windows currently open. It's initiating searches. So it looks like 3 made it initially. So here, let's turn this down to 3. Alright. So they say unlimited connections, but they're always full of it. So it looks like 3 initially made it. Yeah, so we're going to stick with that. Come back in here. Okay. 2. Okay. Alright, we had another change. Good. Okay. So each one had a successful change. Okay. So yeah, 3's the number, it looks like. But it's keeping these other ones open. Damn. Yeah. It's typing it. Okay. Browser. It's launching. 166.172.6.5. Okay, no, it's launching new IP each time. Good. Okay, we'll let that baby rip. Alright, now, let's just come inside here. Pause that for a second. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, good. Alright, now let's go inside of here. We're going to just change up a few things. Okay. 80/20 is fine. And then here we are. So we're going to do 400 to 200. So that is 600. No. Okay, good. Next. Good. Next. Okay, we know that's already good to go. Oh, yeah, update that. And then let's go inside. What is this? Go to campaigns. Why is this? What? How come these ones didn't close? Because they were in the middle of opening, or what? Okay, well, I'm gonna let her go. All right, let's let it fly. Okay. Okay. It is opening a new browser each time, so that is really good. That's where I was having trouble before. Because it'll say it'll give you one on each request, but it counts them sometimes as the same request, and I hate that. So it's really good. I didn't like seeing this up here, though. I saw a couple that were the same. Not found. Okay. Okay. Not found. Okay. That's hard to believe. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go back here real fast. Let me see something here quick. Oh boy, she's slowing her down. It's slowing down. Sleeping. Is that right? Alright, last thing. I might have made an error. I might have made a small misstep here. I forgot to you have to be very you know, particular. And there's that yen advanced, sure. Yep, good. Wonderful. Sure. No, I want you to follow through. If it goes through, go for it. Yes, that's good. All right, there we go. And you can update it. Now go back. Then go here. And now turn her on. Now let's see. Okay. Proxy connection was successful. Beautiful. Okay. So that's how you do that. It's looking like they're working. I'll check it in the morning and see how many were unsuccessful. I'll see what needs to be tweaked. Let's take a look at this real quick. I just want to check the server and see how bogged down it is. I mean, it's only supposed to be launching 3 at a time. I mean, how bad could it be? Not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them, and it's running pretty good. I mean, dude, I'm using 15%. That's 30, so that's 4 of them running. So I could probably run 15 threads without totally, you know, tanking the action. So let's come inside of here. Another little trick that you do with these tools, these old tools, is you come inside of here and you'll right click, you come in here to set the priority, and you make this real time. Like that. And then you find whatever else is running like this, you go to set priority to real time. And then this is right here, BLNSR, so that's a different tool. I'll leave that sit. Yeah. Yeah. So, and then that, what that will do is it'll give it more resource, but it should run a little harder. So right now we're sitting pretty darn good. It's not really hurting. I got 12 gigs of RAM in this VPS. You know, we're sitting on a Xeon. It's an old processor, but it's a 2690. But I got 4 virtual cores with 12 gigs of RAM. Plenty. Dude, and this server is $70 a year. What? That's a deal. Anyway, I was going to do the comment bot, but I'm tired. It's Easter tomorrow. Let's see if you have any questions about anything. I'm here for you. Hey, bro. Well, hello, bro, to you. Good to see you. Hope you're well. No questions? Cool. I love you guys. Happy Easter. Happy holidays. I'll see you in the next one.